Hey everybody, it's the old man talking to you again. Hope you're all well and staying healthy. I don't know about you, but when I'm working outside after a long day, I like to relax with a nice cold beer. And to me, it's got to taste good, it's got to be cold, and it's got to be in a bottle. So that right now, when I go to the package store, I'm looking for Sam Summer Ale because it's summertime. And if it gets really hot and I don't want to really be filled up, I'll go with a Corona. That's fine too. And in the wintertime, I'm a big Cold Snap fan. But it got me thinking, when I go into the packy to buy these, over the last couple of years, with all the extra beers being made, something bad is happening. My favorite beers have been disabeering. That is, when I walk into the packy, there's coolers full of beer in cans. And I don't want that. I want them in a bottle. So again, it made me think about, where did my beers go? Where did they disappear to? Let's have a look. Back when I was a young man, not the old man that I am now, my friends and I learned how to drink beer with good old reliable Budweiser in a can. We weren't fussy, and we certainly had our share of Schlitz tall boys in the can as well. I mean, what was better than a 12-ounce can of beer? A 16-ounce can of beer, obviously. But you can see here that we had beer in bottles as well, and to me, beer coming out of a bottle tasted the best. These were staples in our father's refrigerators, along with Knickerbocker and Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I'm sure they noticed a few missing from their fridge once in a while. And in fact, this bottle on the left I found inside one of the walls while we were doing renovations here in my house. I sure hope the carpenters weren't pounding these all day long when they were building this house. Back in 1956. For those of you that are still drinking these original greats of all time, I'm happy to say that all of these beers are still available. However, I just found out that after 177 years, Schlitz, the beer that made Milwaukee famous, will no longer be produced as of 2026, quote, due to rising costs. This is one way that a beer can disappear. Meanwhile, we continue to experiment with the ever-expanding choices of beer. There was the malt liquor era of the 1970s and 1980s, led by Schlitz malt liquor and its cousin, Colt 45 malt liquor. The alcohol content was up to 6%, and you could get it in 40-ounce containers. That was a bit much for me, so my advice to my friends was simply, be careful and watch out. These high-powered adult beverages disappeared in the early 2000s, and even though Colt 45 is still available, Schlitz malt liquor disappeared in 2026 due, again, to rising costs. It's all probably for the best. Pete's Wicked Ale debuted in 1986. It was an English brown ale style. This caught my attention. It tasted good, and the increased alcohol content of 5.3% compared to Buddy Bar bottles of 5% was attractive. But drink too many and you suffer Pete's Wicked headache. The Gambrinus Company disappeared the Pete's Wicked Ale brand in 2011. What a shame. Luckily, Sam Adams started brewing beer in 1984. Being in New England ensured that it was readily available to us in all of its forms. I can say that I have personally helped support the Sam Adams Brewery for the past 40-plus years as I continued my beer sampling search. India Pale Ale, or IPA, was developed in England around 1840, and India Pale Ale became a popular product in England. The recent IPA microbrewery revolution here in the U.S. started in the 1970s on the West Coast and continued through the 1990s with the development of double IPAs. What? Like the increased alcohol of 7% for a regular IPA needed to be increased to 10%? Like I said, watch out. I have to admit, I did like IPAs when they first came out, but I found that the change in hops would sometimes give me a headache while drinking the first one. So I had to pass on the IPAs. Not to worry though.
As you can see, I was enjoying my continuing search for beer. And lo and behold, my search was over. I had found my favorite forever beer, Bass Ale, first brewed in 1777. So good that Sir Ernest Shackleton took kegs with him on his expedition to the South Pole in 1914, trademarked with the iconic red triangle. I drank Bass Ale exclusively over the next 10 years, until, you guessed it, Anheuser-Busch, the brewing giant, bought the brewing rights to Bass Ale and made the unfortunate decision to discontinue the production and importation of Bass Ale, and discontinued making it in England in 2008. What's worse, they started making it in the USA, and guess what? It never tasted the same after that. So people like me stopped drinking it, and a, quote, shift in production by Anheuser-Busch marked the disappearance of Bass Ale. A sad day indeed in the history of disabeering beers. I was crushed. Now what? Well, my search led me to New Belgium Fat Tire, which is still brewed, but I can't find it in bottles anywhere near me. Newcastle Brown Ale was a worthy replacement for Bass Ale, being originally brewed in England since 1927. But, you guessed it, Heineken bought the brewing rights in 2008 and moved the brewing to other locations, affecting its traditional brewing methods, and thereby making it taste way different, and not good. It now has limited availability in some regions, which is fine with me because it doesn't taste the same. The changes resulted in the disappearance of Newcastle as we knew it. But once again, luck was on my side. During my travels around New England at that time, I discovered Shipyard Export Ale. I liked it so much that I wanted a t-shirt printed Shipyard Export Ale. Why brew anything else? Well, I'm glad I didn't because, once again, Shipyard Export Ale has disappeared from my reach. I can't even find it in cans. The brewery shifted their focus to Shipyard Golden Export, which is good, but it's just not the same. So now, my current beer menu includes Labatt Blue, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Blue Moon, which is tasty, Sam Adams, any and all types, Corona and Corona Light, and Tuckerman's Pale Ale. I can get them in bottles, and they all taste good to me. But man, what I wouldn't give for an ice-cold original Bass Pale Ale right now. But no use crying over beers that have been disappeared. My advice, when your favorite beer disappears, wander around the beer store and simply find a new one. Once you drink it, if you don't like it, keep looking. The fun is in the search.
Okay, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I gave you a little advice in there. There's two good things about advice. The first is it's free. The second is you don't have to take it. So figure out what beer you like the best, and if you have any ideas of where my beer went to as it disappeared, please let me know. It's the old man talking to you. I'll see you next time.
Hi, neighbor. Have a Gansett. You'll like it.
Hi, neighbor, wherever you go, hear what they say. Hi, neighbor, that's the neighborly way. So try the lager beer or the ale with the hops, for Narragansett's brewed with finer seedless hops. We're saying hi, neighbor, have a Gansett ale or beer.
Hi, neighbor. Have a Gansett. You'll like it.